What is going on, everyone? NoZoupForYou here, and we've got some Pommern ranked sprint action. And this is actually one of the few instances of mirrored matchmaking that I've seen recently. On both teams, we've got a Pommern, a Lion, and we also have a Georgia. So, from the get-go, this should be an interesting round, and I'm going to talk about it every now and then because this is probably one of the best rounds I've had this season. This season has been a blast. It's been pretty easy, to be honest, especially playing the Pommern. A while ago I said that I believed up to this point it's the best premium ship of 2020, and I stand by that fact. This ship is just an absolute beast in ranked gameplay, and I think a lot of you have found that out as well. But I don't want to talk about ranked sprint and the Pommern per se. I want to talk about the 3v3 format. And I am now of the firm belief that this needs to be permanent. We need 3v3 permanently in World of Warships that we can play whenever we want. Because quite honestly, this has been refreshing. This has been a breath of fresh air. I have been more excited to play Warships in the past week than I have been in a while. And I'm not saying that I hate how things are going or I hate the game. I'm just saying that this event has made me excited. It's made me enjoy the game at a level that I know many of you probably have not felt in quite a while. So I just think that we need more game modes right now, and I have said that for the longest time. I've been saying it for years. I've done multiple videos about it, and they haven't happened. And yes, we get these little sprint events, and every now and then we'll get one that we absolutely fall in love with, like this version of sprint. And then once it's done, after 10 or 11 or 12 days, we don't see it again for a long time, and we're left yearning for it. And I really think that wargaming is missing out on a great opportunity with these gameplay modes. I really think if they added a 3v3 game mode, it would be extremely popular as the enemy Georgia pops into view. And with my wonderful secondaries, I'm going to start blasting away at him. And on this loadout, this is a straight secondary loadout on the Pommern. I've got AFT, I've got BFT, I've got manual secondaries, I've got every single module you can add to it to boost it. So this is a straight secondary ship, and I've got loot gens, the commander on there, which gives the bonus once you land 100 shots. It speeds up your reload, and that happens quite often. Actually, I think it's happened almost every single round in ranked sprint that I've landed 100 secondaries. So this Georgia here decides that he does not want to tempt fate. He's going to cut in, which leads me focusing on these ships that are going to come across broadside. And I don't know, well, a little derpy shot right there, right into the right into the terrain. But I don't think he knows I'm there at this point. He should, though, because I was fighting that Georgia, but it doesn't matter. He's focused on our Georgia, which is now half health, and I'm going to start doing what I can on him. 3v3, I think, needs to be in the game permanently, and I think that you can do it in ways that are fun. You can do 3v3 battleships only. You can do 3v3 where you have one DD, one cruiser, and one battleship per team. Obviously, I think you should leave aircraft carriers out of it. I just don't think they have a place in 3v3 gameplay, but aside from that, I mean, this season has been so much fun. Ranked Sprint usually is. Ranked Sprint is one of the things that Wargaming does right, and there goes our Georgia, unfortunately. And Pommern, the enemy Pommern, is now going to focus on our Lion, which concerns me because they still have 2 full health ships in reserve once they, or if they take out this Lion. But, you know, I'm feeling pretty good right now. Lion's full health. Pommern is extremely low health. I mean, he's about to sink. Well, hold on there. Not the case. At 1,300 hit points, he rams our Lion and pretty much takes out a full health Lion. And now it is me versus pretty much 2 full health battleships. I'm going to launch these torps here just in case one of them decides to sneak through. But my hand is forced now, and I decide that I'm going to have to circle around and try and catch them on the back end, which is what I'm about to do. And this round, I think this was to get to rank 3, and it's probably one of my best rounds of the season so far. You know, really fun game of daring do and brawling, which it tends to occur when you have 3 battleships versus 3 battleships. I mean, it just does, and I would like to see that in 3v3 battles. And I want to go as far as to say is the 12v12 format that we have right now, and we've had from the beginning of this game, just really, I want to say it's not fun, but it's not as fun as this. There's just too much going on. There's too much chaos. There's too much chances for people to just mess up. I mean, it happens here too, but you have a lot more ability to shape the outcome of the game, even if your 2 teammates really screw things up. Once that happens, it really just comes down to your skill as a player and how good you're able to weather the storm. So I'm not worried about things being 2v1 right now. I'm not worried about the fact that I'm down almost 400, almost 500 points right now. I'm going to get to work right here, and this George is coming in, and he's going to try and ram me. But you know what? That's not a great idea, because I know he's going to try and ram me. And I'm going to mitigate that, and I'm going to fire my torpedoes in the process. And there goes my secondary expert, my secondary armament expert. I just love this ship. I mean, this ship is, I don't want to say it's overpowered, but it is, it's highly tuned. And every single one of those torpedoes slams in right there. And I'm just going to go on past them. I'm not even going to worry about firing at him right now. I'm going to let my secondaries do the work, because I've got a completely broadside lion right here, which I want to focus on. So I'm aiming center mass right there. There's a fair chunk of his health gone right there, almost half of it, and it's going to be hard for him to get out of here. So I'm just going to focus on pegging him again once I go by. George is moving off. He's trying to get out of dodge. I've barely lost any health. I'm already 157,000 damage. I mean, this is sick. And what's about to happen right here is even more sick. Mr. Lion's broadside again. I really feel bad for him. I was thinking about broadside, but no, we're going to shoot at the turret. It's going to land on the first turret. 3 citadels. He's gone. Devastating strike. And now things are evened up. It's just me and Georgia right now. And I've got the health advantage. So as long as I don't get rammed or do something completely stupid, like not cap and the caps remain on their side and he runs, well, even if he runs, I think I'm good. So I'm just going to go after him at this point, after I get these caps. So now that the 3v3 talk is out of the way, and we want more game modes, and we want 3v3 to be permanent, please, Wargaming, please, please, please. Now we talk about the Pommern, which, yeah, in ranked gameplay, it's just sick. And I know people play Georgia and do good in Georgia, and the same for the Musashi. But I've melted plenty of Musashis. I've melted plenty of Georges. The only ship I fear in ranked gameplay right now is another Pommern. And possibly some destroyers out there do worry me, especially late round if you're unable to take them out. Destroyers do concern me, and for those of you that are playing destroyers, you know, good on you, because there is still a viable spot for destroyers in this ranked season. And for those of you playing Fletcher and other ships, I think you know that the conditions are good for you right now, and you've excelled at it. I've seen a lot of you make it to rank 1 using Fletcher and other ships. So, but I decided to play the Pommern and stick with the Pommern just to see how I could do. I've recorded every single one of my games up to this point. I might do a montage later on, but it's just been wicked fun. The brawling, the secondaries, and the guns, even though, you know, the guns aren't supposedly that good, I find that they work great, especially point blank, which you will be fighting. So there's still time. If you haven't picked Pommern up yet and you're on the fence, there's still time to get her. There's, I think at this point, 7 more days of ranked sprint or something. But, you know, don't get her for ranked sprint only. She's a beast in ranked sprint, but she's a beast elsewhere as well. And George is sitting right here. I didn't switch to HE or anything. I mean, he's gonna, if he knows what he's doing, he's gonna stay at an angle. So I just aimed my AP at the superstructure to try and do as much damage as I could. And I'm going to let my secondaries do the rest. He looks like he might be going a little flat, but there's not much he can do at this point. I've got my secondaries popping off. I've got a lot of health. He only has 8,000 hit points left. I could fire torps, but you know, I don't think it's going to come to that. Well, that kind of sucked right there. Overpen, overpen. But this is going to end the game. I'm going to have close to 240,000 damage. Well over 300 secondary hits, which, you know, I've seen some. My good buddy Night Rod Greg, he had a round with 700 secondary hits and did 270,000 damage in the Pommern. That's a pretty impressive feat for only battling against 3 other ships. That's a lot of damage right there. And yeah, this was to get to rank 3. Just marching on up. I think I've only lost 1 star once, and I've kept them on the other 2 or 3 rounds I haven't. Yeah, 237,000 damage. I love this ship, and we need 3v3 gameplay permanently. Anyhow, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you're doing phenomenal. Zoop out.